Hi Year 9, thank you for clicking on this video. Today we're starting off with a couple of riddles to help warm up your brains for the lesson today. We've got, the first one is a man fell out of the window of a 56-story skyscraper and fell all the way to the ground. He survived the fall with barely any injuries. How is this possible? Second one, kind of similar. In the same skyscraper, a man was cleaning the windows of the 56th floor. He slipped and fell all the way to the ground, but survived unharmed. How is this possible? If you have any theories or guesses for the riddles, you can post them down in the comments below, or you can send them through in an email and I'll tell you if you're correct or not. Okay, today's lesson in stats is on quartiles and box plots. This is our last lesson for the term, which I'm sure you're very happy to hear. I'm very happy to say it. This is brand new content, but I think you guys will find it pretty okay. Let's dive in with, first of all, looking at what quartiles are. So here we have a data set. This is the speed recorded of 11 different cars on a country road. So here is our data set. So we're going to find the quartiles and we'll talk about what they are very shortly. But first thing we're going to need to do is to find the median. So when you're finding the median, what's the first thing that needs to happen? Well, your data needs to be put in ascending order. So currently they're all jumbled up. We're going to rewrite them from smallest to largest. Okay, now finding the median, we have 11 scores. So if we do 11 plus 1, that makes 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So our median is going to be the 6th score, which is the 93. The 93 splits our data set into 2 equal halves. So that's what the median does. The quartiles are pretty similar. The quartiles are scores that split your data set into 4 even quarters. So it's kind of like we're going to find the median of the lower and the upper half. Okay, so we've got our median. We're going to ignore that. Our lower half is these 5 scores and our upper half is these 5 scores. So the median is not included in either the top or bottom half, it's excluded. So from the lower half, we've got 5 scores. So the median of the lower half is the 84. And this is going to be called the first quartile. So our notation for this is Q1 for quartile 1. Now if we look at the top half, these 5 numbers, the median of these 5 is the 104. So we're going to circle this and we're going to call it Q3. This stands for the upper quartile. Okay, Q2 is the median, but we don't call it Q2, we just call it the median. So our quartiles, the lower quartile is 84 and the upper quartile is 84. Okay, so you find your median and then you find the median of your 2 halves once again, and you've got your quartiles. For question C, we're finding the interquartile range. Now the range we've already looked at being the highest score minus the lowest score. Pretty similar here, the interquartile range is the upper quartile, take away the lower quartile. So it's essentially asking us how far is it from 84 to 104. So we'll do interquartile range is quartile 3, take away quartile 1. 104 take away 84 is 20. That is your interquartile range. So the range is essentially which 2 numbers your entire data set spans. Your interquartile range is how many numbers across the middle 50% of your data set is, okay? So your interquartile range is the middle 50%. Okay, on to the next one. We're looking at what's called a 5-number summary. So below we have the 8 students recorded how many times they played Raid Shadow Legends in the last week. Quick shout out to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's episode of McGrathmatics. I appreciate your support of the channel. Okay, first of all, we're going to find the interquartile range for this data set, which means we need to put our data in order so we can find the median, so we can then find the quartiles. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this and rewrite them from smallest to biggest. Now we have 8 scores of data, so our median will be between the 4th and the 5th data point. So our median right there is 5.5. Now we have a lower half of 0, 1, 2, 4, and we have an upper half of 7, 8, 8, 15. So the lower quartile will be the median of the lower half, which will be between the 1 and the 2. So right there is our lower quartile of 1.5, Q1. For the top half, we've got 7, 8, 8, 15. The middle is the 2 8s. If we go halfway between 8 and 8, you just get 8. And that is your upper quartile, which we write Q3. Okay, so our interquartile range is how far from 1.5 up to 8. So we can do 8 take away 1.5, Q3 take away Q1, and we get 6.5 as our interquartile range. So the middle 50% of our data is going across 6.5 numbers. Okay, question B is talking about the 5-number summary. So the 5-number summary is going to be comprised of the lowest score in the data set, the lowest quartile, the middle of your data set, the median, the upper quartile, and the highest score. Those 5 numbers make up what we call the 5-number summary. We like to write them in these fancy curly brackets for some reason. So for this data set here is our 5-number summary. Lowest score of 0, lower quartile 1.5, median 5.5, upper quartile of 8, and highest score 15. So that's all it is. All right, moving on. Let's start talking about box and whisker plots, or sometimes called box plots. So here we have a set of data. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scores. We're going to draw a box and whisker plot to represent this data set. Now the box and whisker plot is a special type of way of recording your 5-number summary. So first thing we need to do here is we need to find our 5-number summary, which means we need our median and we need our quartiles. So we're going to start off with our median because we have 10 data points. Our median is going to be between 5 and 6. So halfway between 15 and 16 is 15.5. There's our median. So on our number line that's waiting for our box and whisker plot, I'm going to draw a line above 15.5 right here. So I'm not going to draw it on the number line. I'm going to draw it slightly hovering above. All right, now for the lower half, we've got 5 numbers. 10 is in the middle, so that is our lower quartile. And for the top half, our upper quartile is the 19. So I'm going to draw 2 more red lines for my quartiles, one at 10 and then one at 19. Okay, so there's 2 more numbers here that we need for our 5-number summary. So we're going to have our lowest score of 5. We're going to use a dot for that rather than a vertical line. And we'll put a dot at 22 up here. All right, sweet. So here's our 5-number summary: 5, 10, 15.5, 19, and 22. Now what we do is we draw a box around the quartiles. So from Q1 up to Q3, we have a box. And then down to the lower and upper high scores, we have whiskers. And that's why it's called a box and whisker plot. So that's all you got to do. You draw 3 vertical lines for your quartile, median, and quartile. You draw some dots for your lowest and highest score. You draw a box around these 3, and you draw whiskers up to the ends, and there you have your box and whisker plot, aka a box plot. Okay, one more example to finish us off today. We are now looking at reading box plots now that we know how to draw them. So we have a box plot recording the number of mistakes that I made on my whiteboard over 48 school days. So we have a data set of 48 scores spanning from some days I only made 6 mistakes, some days I made 29. The median number of mistakes was 19. Okay, so first question, from our box plot, we're going to draw or write up our 5-number summary. So reminder, 5-number summary is lowest score, lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and highest score. We can get all of these from our box plot. We've got 6, 10, 19, 23, and 29. And there is your 5-number summary. Okay, question B, what is the interquartile range? Which is again asking us how far from our lower quartile up to our upper quartile. So we'll do IQR is Q3 take away Q1. So we're going to be doing 23 take away 10. So we get an interquartile range of 13. Okay, and the last question, on how many days did McGrath make more than 23 mistakes? Now, like I said before, this entire data set is spanning 48 scores. There's 48 scores in our total data set. So the question is, how many of those 48 are going to be from 23, which is the upper quartile, up to the end? So the thing we have to realize here is that when I'm saying quartiles, what I actually mean is a quarter of the data set, okay? Down here, right here, here and here, these are all 1/4 of the data set. So if our data set is 48 scores, in each of these 4 quartiles, we're going to have 12 scores, because that's a quarter of 48. So in the lower quartile, we'll have 12 right here. We'll have 12 in this quartile, 12 here, and then 12 up here. So how many days did I make more than 23 mistakes? Well, the number of scores greater than 23 is 12, and there is our answer. Okay, to finish off, if you're finding these easy, here is an optional challenge question. This is from an HSC question, which is a Year 12 paper for standard maths. We've got the distribution of ages of children in Numbertown. So we've recorded this in 2 years. Here are the ages. Here's the age distribution in 2000. And the top one is the age distribution in 2010. So question states, in 2000, there were 1,750 children aged 0 to 18. So this box plot is 1,750 children. The number of children aged 12 to 18 years is the same in both 2000 and 2010. How many children aged 0 to 18 years are there in 2010? If you think you figured it out, you can post your guess below, or you can send me an email and I'll let you know if you are correct or not. All right, thank you if you made it this far. There's some more practice questions for you to go on with, and please let me know if you need any more help. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your term and have a good holidays. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.